What is going on, Lillian tribe? It's time for an update because, the low can't get much lower, right? Well, let's kind of take a look here. Let's go for a couple of cold, hard facts. Let's see what we learned by what can only be described as the Coinbase debacle. I would assume. That's the only way that you can describe it at this point, right? Well, I don't really have another name for it, but let's see what happens when we kind of sort of look around and apply a little bit of logic and see, where are we and where are we going? It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleeves.
So we're going to start off with price action. I'm going to clear the screen just a little bit so you can see just kind of a long-term trend here, right? And as you can see here, we do really kind of have a floor here at about 5,700. You can see that it's dipped down right below that floor. There's not much more floor to give. You can look over here and you can see that it maybe goes down to about 53, 52. Now, the question that most people are going to be asking is, well, how did it get so bad? Like, how did we kind of, just sort of flatline right here? The liquidity is down to 662,000. How did this all come to pass? And obviously we got to go back in time and we got to start talking about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room was the listing with Coinbase, which I was a part of, by the way. I was on that live stream. And by the way, just full disclosure here, I was not part of it leading up in here when we started talking about it because I didn't know what was going on. I came in for the announcement. They invited me on for the announcement, so I didn't know. I wasn't part of any of this buildup. It's just sitting in my wallet and accumulating, right? So I had no idea at that point what was going on. Then I get the surprise announcement, and does it immediately make me go, "Oh my God, you have to make an announcement"? You guys know the drill. I don't need to get into it, but no, it didn't really, because everybody can do things with specific ways, and listen, things change over time and things evolve in this space. So, don't know. So that leads us to this run up where it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Well, it doesn't happen. Then that causes, of course, the cascade and the sell off. Then we get to a point over here where we get an announcement, and the announcement is, well, we're just moving on. And also a V2 is coming. V2, by the way, right here, 6% buy tax, 8% sell tax. There's no date listed on here for when it's going to happen, but it is happening. And I will tell you from some inside details, I always heard rumors that the contract was broken. Anybody who was here for the launch of the token could probably testify that going back way over here at this little run-up thing right here, like everybody, you could testify here, this was a broken contract because I think that when I got in here, I was supposed to get like a specific amount of tokens, and I only got like a small amount of tokens, and I had to go to the team because they had like the thing, and they give you, they compensated you for whatever was missing. So I was part of that too, because this was crazy. So there has to be a problem with the contract, right? So flash forward, all of this happens, the sell-off, it becomes massive, the sell down becomes massive. And now here is the thing. I want you to just kind of analyze, and we're going to move on from all of this, and I'm going to look at you eye to eye, and here's what I want you to think, okay? First of all, there were concerns about Brad. I think they're unfounded. Businesses always get sued. There's always people who are complaining or moaning about some kind of product and stuff like that. And it's supposed to be a big deal because it's N95 mass and we're better than it. And everybody who's complaining is better than everybody else. But that's not a thing, right? That's not a thing. It's an allegation. It's an accusation. Sometimes businesses just don't succeed, and it's not the fault of any one single person. And sometimes it's in the middle of stuff happening. So that doesn't turn you into a malicious person. But there are things that we can only describe as pieces of shit that go onto Twitter and cry about everybody and cry about everything. And only golden children can be running cryptos, and just, the dum-dums, right? And these dum-dums, they come out here and they do their thing, and it's fine because, listen, free speech is free speech, right? So you have the opportunity to go do it and nobody's stopping you, like Elon Musk privatize, and you can come out here and you can do that. Then, I mean, you can go do that. You know what I mean? Just best you can do is just block the person and move on, right? Or block the people and move on. But listen, it's a whole bunch of crybabies in crypto that should be millionaires that aren't millionaires, and they're salty about it and they like shitting on tokens, right? That's all you can say, right? Not a testament of anybody's character, right? Barney, still a personal friend of mine. Cody, like Cody. There's plenty of things going on, and I don't have a problem with Brad because, again, things happen. Now, that puts us in this situation of trust, right? Well, I said the whole time, I trust these guys because I do trust these guys, and they are still sitting here taking the heat every day for what's going on. And they didn't leave. They didn't walk away. They didn't do all of the, yeah, they're going to take their liquidity and they're going to leave. Well, and that was said by somebody who's stupid, right? And I don't have to describe that person other than saying they're stupid, because stupid people don't need explanations, right? So there's all of these things that are working, and they're negatives. And look, this was a self-created screw up. So where do we go from here? Well, here's where we go. We find out that these people right here, well, those guys, those are scalpers. Those are the dirtbags that come at you to steal your money. They're the guys that bought in over here because they were trying to steal some of your ETH, because they weren't here for whatever noble purpose Lillian Finance would serve. And I'm not here to talk about the nobility of it. I'm here to say that as a cryptocurrency, a bunch of scalpers came in because they were trying to steal the Ethereum from this and chase that run up on the pump. And we're all guilty of it. I'm not saying that I'm not either. I threw in 3 more ETH because I wanted to support you guys and support this whole thing right around here when all of this was happening, right? To say, listen, I'll help hold the floor. I'll put in a little bit more. No big deal, right? And then from there, it's way, 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 way down, right? Well, then you had the little staking issue where people had their stuff staked, and it was staked for a certain period of time, and they didn't want to take it out. Now, why did they not want to take it out? Well, because then they would be penalized. Why do they not want to be penalized? Well, because the price was going down. Now, why would they want to sell if the price was going down? And if everybody was doing things nobly and we were doing all of this stuff, there's surgeries that are helping children. This foundation is doing dynamic things for kids. And so why would they not be involved? Well, the reason for that is because they also were a bunch of dirtbag scalpers. They were just dirtbag scalpers that were smiling at you the entire time. Now, if you were to confront them and say, well, what is your argument for why you sell? And then they would say, well, because you can't trust the team because they lied. Well, maybe they didn't lie, and maybe the fact that we're having that conversation is because you're falling for a narrative from people. And I still, to this point, do not think that anybody was, quote unquote, lied to, or that they lied to anybody. Otherwise, they wouldn't be sitting here taking the bullets every single day. It doesn't make sense for a project with $4,000 in trading volume and only a $662,000 total liquidity to be taking bullets over bullshit. You move on, you create another crypto, you do something else. That's the way that you do it. You don't double down into what you've already, quote unquote, wrecked, right? So there's got to be something under the hood, right? Well, the something under the hood is, let's go back. The contract was broken in the beginning. And let's just say, for instance, whatever was happening was because of the contract. Whatever in the background is going on is because of the contract. Whatever issues, concerns, or problems that there are that are causing the inability to get a listing or do whatever it is that was supposed to be done. Something is preventing that from happening. And at the same time, Lillian is moving on to a V2 contract because of gigantic supply, because of, there's some reason, right? That run up at the beginning that really just looked like a broken contract. There's something going on underneath the surface that they're not talking about, that they're not saying. But unless you're a ding dong jeet and you can't understand it and your brain's broken, then it seems pretty obvious to anybody who's watching that that's what's going on, that somehow or another there's a problem. Now, here's the thing. When the relaunch happens, assuming we're at this position right now, and just stick with me again. I know I'm taking a lot of your time, but I want to be clear about this. So we're going to do this right here, right? And we, as a crypto, look, as a space, we're not forgetful, but we do give second chances, except for a bunch of DeFi ding-dongs that they cry about everything. You know what I mean? So here's what I say to this. If you're here, if you're down, you don't have a choice but to stick or cut a loss, right? I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stay here. I mean, I can't say the entire time because you never really know what's going to happen, but I'm going to stay here for right now. I'm going to stay here through version 2. I'm going to stay here for a bit, and I'm going to see what happens because everybody loves the revival. Everybody wants to see a project that had something bad go against them get a second chance at life, quote unquote. I'm going to stick around just in case any exchange that might be out there that believes in whatever's going on here that needs a contract to be fixed might just come back around and say, oh yeah, now that everything's fixed, let's get this done, right? That's what I say. Now, I'm going to say this also because I'm staring at it, that should you expect any kind of movement, and we're going to talk about the movement, because I don't want to get too deep in the weeds, but I do want to point it out, right? Should you see any movement, I would not expect to see anything above this 1500 right here. I think this is the local cap for anything that can happen at this point. And I want to also say that I do believe that this bottom right here, there could be some more, there could be a little bit more bottom, but I think we're at the bottom. So if you're doing this on a numbers game right here, you might be able to go up about 3x from where it is right now, but don't expect too much more for right now. Expect that version 2 to change a few things, to simplify a few processes, and then expect to see some serious marketing. Now that part is out of the way, I'm going to tell you that I've talked to some people in Lillian. I've had some conversations, and I've been part of projects that have done 100x. I've been through projects that have done quite a bit. You know what I do around here. So I just want you to imagine this. What if I'm talking to people, and what if they're listening, and what if that means they understand that there is a blueprint that wasn't followed in the beginning, that should have been followed in the beginning, that's now going to be followed because they have the capacity to do it. I'm not saying that will happen. I'm saying what if, right? Because I am talking to people and telling them what should be happening, what could be happening, and how to just turn this all around, right? Right. And I'm not saying that I have the perfect fix. I'm not saying it's because of me. I'm saying it's because of other people. And I just noticed these things, and I'm telling these guys, let's do this, like make something happen. Right. So that's all the update that I have. That's the opinion that I have. I hope you stuck around for the whole thing. I know I got a little bit wordy. I know I got a little bit long. I know I like hyperbole. I like to over explain things. I'm doing that because I believe in these guys. I believe in the purpose of the Lillian project. I can't blame anybody for leaving the project because their faith got shattered or shaken or something like that. I mean, we live in a society where we got a book of magic people, and if you're a good person who follows the magic people, then you go to the cloud of the magic people, and if you don't follow the book of the magic people, you go to some kind of fiery place. I mean, come on, we know what we're doing, right? So if you weren't faithful enough to follow this, that's fine. I mean, that's it. Listen, some crypto projects are not for everyone, but these guys, scalpers, these guys scalping jeets that were just kind of, yeah, but I still love the children. Well, you're not helping the kids when you're doing this, if you actually did in the beginning, right? And it's not a shattering of trust. It's not a shattering of trust, by the way. Not a shattering of trust, by the way, because guess what? They're still servicing the children, and they're still doing what they're supposed to be doing with the foundation. The only person that's not is you that's sold. So if you like my content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell to be notified of future content. If you don't like the contract, hit the dislike button and tell me that you don't like me in the comment sections, because that's okay too. This is not financial advice. My name's Bleez. I am always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening to this long-ass winded explanation that really just didn't tell you anything. But I had fun, so it's my show, right? Have a good day. We'll talk to you again soon.
Looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl.